guys ready for part 2 of under eating? Back in part 1, we talked about the signs and symptoms for under eating and how that can look like, so you don't always have to be tracking. But we will actually talk about tracking really quickly because it's actually a really great tool to see where you are falling short. In this video, I want to be just talking about how can we fix it? What are some things that you can change today to ensure that you're eating enough? So talking about tracking, I actually want to go into that. One of my favorite apps to use is called Chronometer. It's kind of like the Apple's version of MyFitnessPal because in my opinion, sorry Windows fans, I am an Apple girl through and through, if you cannot tell. And I just find it's a cleaner, not as busy looking space as MyFitnessPal is. So Chronometer is my favorite, but tracking even just a couple of days. And when you're tracking, don't track like, oh, I'm short on protein, let me add more. No, track real raw data for just a couple days just to see where you naturally fall without changing anything. So see where you're falling short. Are you falling short in just the amount of calories? If you're eating less than like 1,600 calories, girl, you're under eating. Are you just falling short in some certain macros like protein or carbohydrates? Are you restricting carbohydrates? It is very eye-opening to see that. You don't have to do it every day for the rest of your life, but just getting a couple days to a week of data to say, okay, I am falling short on protein and I definitely need to eat more. Let's get to it. In video 1, I talked about how uncomfortable it is because your body's just shifted to accepting the amount of food that you eat, like 1,200 calories, so you're not hungry. So when you try to eat a little more, it can get kind of uncomfortable. So digestive enzymes are really helpful here, but slowly start increasing your portion size. So instead of eating 1 egg for breakfast, eat 2. Maybe your goal is to eat 3 or 4, which is fantastic. I eat 3 every morning. Not every day, but you get what I'm saying. But you work your way up to 3. Don't go from 1 to 3 eggs. Just go from 1 to 2 eggs. If you normally have about like 3 ounces of chicken, go to 4. And maybe your goal is to get to like 5 or 6 ounces of chicken at your at dinner time. Another example would be avocado. Like if you ideally want to have like 3/4 or even a full avocado with your chicken tortilla soup for dinner. Normally you might be comfortable with 1/4 of an avocado, work up to 1/2 of an avocado, then 3/4 of an avocado, then full avocado. Again, eventually you'll get there. It just helps reduce the intensity that can feel from, going from 1,200 calories all the way up to 2,000. So start slow just to diminish a little bit of like discomfort. But you gotta work to get there. And if you want to go ahead and throw all that new food at your way, do it. Especially if you feel fine, that's wonderful. But remember what I said, right now, your hunger cues are not going to be ideal to follow because it's already, what's the word I'm looking for? It's already happy with 1,200 and you're not hungry. And number 3, what I see a lot is people skipping meals. So don't skip meals. I know this is like really big in the fasting thing right now. It's everywhere. Maybe I'm just biased and this is what I see with my clients. Most women that I see actually feel best when they're not fasting intensely, I should say. Not like a normal 12, 13-hour fast. That's simply like not stopping eating after dinner and then having a normal breakfast. You can get a really great 12 to 13-hour fast, and I do recommend that pretty regularly every night. But intense fast in the sense of like 20-hour fast or 16-hour fast, a lot of women feel best not doing that. And maybe that's just because of the women that I tend to see. So I don't recommend fasting for a lot of women who are under eating. You can get the amount of calories you need in a short period of time. If you want to have an eating window of 8 hours, you could get it, but I think you just kind of need to work up to that because it's a lot of food in a short amount of time. So not skipping meals can be your best friend. So not just having coffee and collagen for your breakfast, but actually having a decent breakfast of veggies and eggs and all the things that sound good. So not skipping meals is really important. It's hard to play catch up. Make sure you're getting enough protein in the morning. Holy cow. I see so many women who are, skipping a meal, and then by the end of the day, they just have so much to catch up. And they're like, there's no way that I'm getting like 80 grams more protein in tonight at dinner. So start off your day right. And the last thing is balancing your plate. So every meal, having a little bit of everything, a little bit of protein, a little bit of carbs, a little bit of fats. That helps when you have a balanced plate. That helps you be able to hit most of your goals, if not all your goals, by the end of the day without having to stress or worry about it. And then when you get to that point of where you're eating enough, hunger cues are really great to follow. So maybe some days you're hungrier than others. It'll depend on activity level. But these are some things that you can be changing right now. So those are the tips that I wanted to give to you. If by chance you are a woman who is struggling more so with the mindset and adding carbs or adding, I don't know, whatever diet that you have stuck in your head, right now I'm guessing it's carbs because everyone's like carb phobic right now. So if that's you and you have an issue with trying to overcome that mindset and adding carbs seems really scary, we have a really awesome health coach who works on mindset and behavior on our team. You can reach out to us as well if you are ready to kind of get that more personalized approach of how much you should be eating and how you can personally start implementing that in your life. Thank you so much. Leave all your questions below in the comments and we'll get to them as soon as we can.